everybody, this is Chad the Gaming Dad here once again with another episode of the Misadventures of the Flea Market. Yes, that's right. The winter has finally ended here in Ohio. I mean, it seemed like it was going to go on and on forever. It finally has gone, and it's not the best day for flea market today. A little bit rainy out, although the sun is starting to come out. So I thought I'd come out here under my umbrella and film some stuff for you and tell you about the last time I did go to the flea market a couple weeks ago. We headed out there and checked out all the stuff, and you know, collecting retro games and stuff at the flea market is not as good as it used to be, but there are still a few things out there, and I did get 3 things, but also filmed a bunch of really weird stuff. So let's go get in the car, head out to the flea market and see what we find.
Let's see what Madame Ruby sees.
Ah yes, a nice sunny morning, Saturday morning here in Ohio, driving through some of the most exciting areas. As you can see, nothing but telephone poles and farmland, but out of nowhere comes the giant Hartville Flea Market. So as we begin, there's not a whole lot going on just yet, but check this out. For those of you who love Skyrim, this is the hat for you. And then this fish over here, this kind of looks like something out of Skyrim too that would actually eat you and kill you. Yum yum. If you're really hungry for some hamburger, I hope you have some strong teeth for this one. It's some sort of weird planter that looks like a hamburger. And hey kids, cover your eyes, this is a family show. How about a naked mermaid for your yard, or some segmented alligators? Now, I used to love to watch Orange County Choppers, OCC, on Discovery Channel, but I don't think they made this one. That looks like some straight up homemade action right there. Not a whole lot to find out here at the flea market today. A bunch of vinyl pop figures that I'm really not interested in, but I try to be nice to these guys and talk to them for a minute anyway. Here we got a bunch of very expensive Lego guys. All kinds of different figurines, $3 a piece, I think it said. Oh my. And then here's something that you don't see every day. It's a pretty nice little box of Atari 2600 games controllers, and that's actually the Telegames version of the 2600. Those were the ones you could find at Sears. Don't know why Sears had to make their own version instead of just selling the normal one, but that's what they did. Silver Atari 2600, that's what you get at Sears. Come up upon this guy's table, and he's got a few games here and a bunch of other random stuff, but nothing that I really need. I go through, take a look at some of these games, but man, are they just kind of overpriced sports games and things that aren't all that great. Told the guy that I had pretty much all of these, and of course he points out the one over there for the Game Boy Advance. A lot of them I already have.
Well, there's this one here, the Game Boy Advance. I don't know if you've got that.
No, sir, you're right. I don't have that one, and I don't want that one. This table's got more cars and cards, but what I spied with my little eye were those garbage pail kids right there. I remember those from back in the 80s. Ooh, gross out. Anyone want one of 5 torsos? And here's the vendor that I see every year. Same games, same stuff. I don't even know if he sells any of them. I see the same games all the time. Maybe it's because they still have those same high prices on them, and I'll be honest with you, the games don't look like they're in that great a shape. I feel like it'd be risky getting some of these. You always have to take a look though, because you never know, there could be something special that he just got. Not today though. Do you want to play a game? Nope, that's pretty creepy. Thank you. You can keep your saw head. As you can see back there, there's a pretty sweet Pac-Man sleeping bag. Rule of thumb for me, man, I just kind of stay away from things that might have a bunch of bugs inside them. But hey, here's a box of random couple of Atari controllers and some other wires I don't know what they go for.
Just asking $10 for the whole box.
Okay.
Video game stuff.
$10 for the whole box, huh? How about no? This booth just forgot about the table entirely, just put a tarp down and laid everything out on the ground. Some of the games look halfway decent, but Nothing that I'm really looking for, nothing that I really need. Plus, whenever I find stuff at the flea market that's disc-based, man, you gotta be really careful. That looks like a Kratos ripoff. I don't even know who that figure is. I don't think it's Kratos, but it looks like him. PS1 sitting here. Anytime you see a PS1, you need to open it, because a lot of times people leave games inside, and you never know what might be hiding under the lid of that PS1. Now, I didn't find much at the flea market. There really weren't too many vendors that had anything all that exciting. This guy included, except for there was one thing that I spied that did look a little interesting, and it's this little Yamaha keyboard over here. It even has the plug. Don't know about that. And here, just to make my point about the PS1s, here's two PS1s sitting amongst all these cables and everything. Heck, the one even has a memory card still stuck in it. Open them up. Definitely when you find these things, you gotta open them up, because you never know what you may find inside. Final Fantasy. Unfortunately, Final Fantasy was a multi-disc game, so somebody out there is missing a large chunk of their Final Fantasy. Yeah, showing these typewriters to my daughter, I don't think she's going to be typing out any of her papers during her school days on one of those, that's for sure. Well, hey, Babe Ruth. He says, hey kids, join my baseball club and win one of these swell prizes. Those do look pretty swell, babe. And back here we see, behind this giant nasty looking potato guy, it's a Pee Wee Herman doll. Problem with this Pee Wee is that something's wrong.
Oh,
he can't talk anymore. So take the fact that the Pee Wee doll is actually broken, and the fact that she wants way too much for it. We'll have to see you later, Pee Wee. You are not coming with us on this big adventure. So here we see some more disc-based games among some DVDs and CDs. There's a pretty good game, MVP. A little bit of trivia for you. That was the last game that EA made in the MVP series before the Major League Baseball license had taken over. And now we just have the show, basically. Which is a good game, too. And check out these telephones. It's always nice to have a little bit of education for the kids at the flea market. We teach them about old typewriters, old telephones, and here we have the Styx LP. And finally we come up on this guy's table, and he's got some nice things here, but again, any kind of stuff that looks like it was modified or refurbed at home, I don't know, it's probably fine. There's probably nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's probably really cool. But if I saw this at a retro convention or something instead of at the parking lot of the Hartville Flea Market, I may take it a little bit more seriously. But either way, I don't need another 64 or anything. But it does look kind of cool. Couple more games we've got here. Video games, $3 or 2 for $5. Let's see if we can find 2 of them in here that we want. Bunch of Wii games. That Ghost Squad's not too bad if you like light gun type shooters. The other ones, that one for Xbox isn't bad, Medal of Honor, but really there wasn't much here. And here's the greatest thing right here. Your own personal umbrella that you can strap to your head so that you can not only look like an idiot, but also get pretty much no coverage from the rain whatsoever if it is really raining. I guess this is just for the sun, but either way, you're not going to be catching me wearing one of these anywhere anytime soon. And so goes another day at the flea market. Yeah, so there was some really weird stuff out there, and like usual, some of the stuff that you see every time, the same vendors. And it seems like some of these guys that have the games, especially, the one vendor I see every time I go out there, and he has the same stuff, the same high prices, and I don't know why he even bothers to come out, because if his stuff isn't selling and he's just paying to rent space at the flea market, I don't get it. Things just, I don't know. Maybe somebody buys his stuff, but I'm not into it because it's just not high quality and the prices are way too high. So, But I did find one guy, the whole entire day, found one guy that had some stuff, and he was willing to deal because it wasn't a super busy day when we went out there, and he wanted to try to sell a few things instead of just packing everything up and taking it back home with him. So let me show you 3 things that I got. I bought 3 different things from the same one guy, and it was the last place I went because I wanted to buy some stuff, and I had seen some things here and there, but nothing really jumped out at me except for a couple things that this guy had, and he was pretty good to work with, good deals. So first off, I was able to grab another one of these. This is Golden Tee Golf. It's another Golden Tee plug and play where you take the ball and spin it like that. This one's slightly different than the other one that I have. If you want to look, I have another video that I did a review on the other Golden Tee. This one's made by Radica. And honestly, this one's more retro, I would say, than the other one. I mean, they have the almost exact same box. They have the same everything. I did see this, which is a plug, and I thought, wow, cool, I can play this without having to put batteries in it, but no luck. The plug doesn't work. It's 6 volts, and I have a thing that you can switch the volts on, but it just doesn't work. I took it apart. Everything's hooked up. I don't know. It just doesn't work. But honestly, if I'm going to play a Golden Tee, I'm probably going to play the newer one that has a little bit better graphics, more courses. This thing's very limited, but still really cool, and especially if you're a gaming dad out there, even little kids can get into this, and they really like it. It's a lot of fun. The second thing I picked up from the guy there, he just had it sitting on the table when I went to buy something else from him, and I was like, oh, what's that? I'll take that too. And here it is, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 for the PS1, and I think I did get a pretty good deal on it. Disc is in halfway decent shape. I mean, you can see some stuff on there, but I played it, it works, and man, Tony Hawk just takes me right back to probably about like almost 20 years ago. I mean, when was this one come out? 2000. Yeah, so 99 and 2000. So we're getting close to 20 years ago, and my wife and I, she wasn't my wife at the time, we had just started dating, we would sit around and play a ton of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, and I think I had this at one point, but I don't remember whether or not I traded it or something because I got a PS2, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, this one is very similar to Skater 1, and that's a good thing. Very, very good. They didn't change much in this one, and there's additional, there's additional levels, there's additional things you can do. There's even a, you can build your own dream skate park, it says on the back here. So, really cool game, and if you can find this one cheap, works great on a PS1, works on a PS2, works on a PS3. You can play this all over the place. Good skating action. And now for the final thing that I got at the flea market was, for those of you who know me, I'm also very into music. I love music a lot, almost as much as games, sometimes more than games, I think, give or take. But I recently picked up a keyboard. Used old keyboard that I can plug into the computer and mess around with, and I'm starting to figure out how to play some things. Never really was taking any piano lessons or anything like that, but because I've been interested in these keyboards and stuff, I found out that there was a very famous keyboard made by Yamaha back in the 80s that almost every single pop hit had playing on it. It was like the keyboard of keyboards. It was the one everybody used, whether it was from, I don't know, anything that was on MTV back in the 80s had that keyboard in it. It was called the Yamaha DX7, okay? So I saw this sitting there. This is not a Yamaha DX7. In fact, it's more of a kid's toy. As you can see there, it's the Pro Sound, what is that, PSS 130 Yamaha. But the thing that I really liked about it is it looks, I mean, it's from that same period of time. On the back, it says, when did they make this thing? I don't know. But this was the really lower level keyboard that was more of a toy for kids, but it looks a lot like the DX7. It has the same kind of color buttons and stuff. I mean, heck, even when you turn it this way, it's got the big Yamaha on there. It's pretty sweet. And sound quality's not that great. But my son is also interested in music, and when he sees me messing with my keyboard, he wants to play one. So I was able to pick this up for $5. And even though this isn't a great keyboard, it still works. And I looked online, and they sell for quite a bit more than $5 on eBay normally. But let me turn it on for you real quick. You can see. So you turn it on, and it's like, right? But that's not really the best part about it. The best part, I mean, all these different, you got a bunch of different settings here for different sounds, but the one that's the best is the xylophone setting, because it sounds kind of like 8-bit NES music, right? Really good stuff. So yeah, you can mess around with that and have a lot of fun. I may actually try to record some stuff with this to use in videos if I figure out how to play some things. But yeah, it's a fun thing, and what a great thing to find at the flea market for $5. So with that, that's pretty much all I have for you on this episode of Misadventures of the Flea Market. Hope you had fun going out and checking some things out. I'm sure I'll make some more flea market videos later on in the summer when it's not kind of a rainy day and there's actually things to go take a look at. Collecting is starting to become, like I said, a little tougher to do at the flea market, but at least you can go, and if they have a whole bunch of stuff that's high prices, you can bring a camera with you and show people at least what's happening. Really, anymore when I go to the flea market, I'm just hunting for stuff to take video of so I can show you guys, because it's really fun. So anyways, with all of that said, it's time now for the final countdown.
It's the final countdown.
Hey, thanks everybody for sticking with me and watching the entire video. I hope you liked it. The best way to help out the channel is to leave a like, leave a comment, and tell your friends. If you'd like to support the channel further, there are links in the description. But otherwise, always remember that you never outgrow video games. My name's Chad the Gaming Dad, and we'll see you on the next one. So long, everybody.